YouTuber apologies are extra cringe, so I'm going to keep this short. I did not do anything offensive that you have discovered, at least.
Uh-oh.
But I've been making a little bit of an oopsie whoopsie oopsie poopsie lately, both on this channel and the main channel too. And it's something that I didn't really notice it until it was brought to my attention. Somebody actually mentioned it on this channel. It was a comment from, I'm leaning forward to check my comments. This was from Jonathan Phone, who I appreciate. I'm going to assume that he is the name of the creator of the telephone.
I hope so.
Jonathan
I thought
Phone.
that was Alexander Graham Bell.
So I accidentally uploaded part 7 or 6 of the Sherlock Holmes video as part 7. And before you click off, because you're like, I'm not even watching that Let's Play, I want to say that this is kind of a bit of a pattern for me on accident. Not with uploading the wrong thing, but with making like stupid mistakes because I'm too tired and have been overextending myself on a lot of things. It's something that Jill was talking to me about that I don't think I really realized I was doing. It's also something my friend Allie was talking to me about, who has a YouTube channel, What the Hell Allie, which is WTHALLIE. And they're one of my best friends. I love him. But the thing with this channel and the main channel and running King of Creepy and even helping Jill with hers is I have too many projects going on at once that I'm having a hard time focusing on them. And it's been a real problem. It's something I need to do a better job compartmentalizing on, where I actually say I'm going to focus on this project today, or I'm going to focus on this project for an hour, then this one. I keep going back and forth between 5 different things at any given time. I need to record this Let's Play, and then 45 minutes later, now I need to edit this thing. And then 30 minutes into that, okay, well, I'm not quite done with that, but I need to do this script. And what it's kind of doing is hitting a point where I feel like my work is not focused. And because of that, I'm making dumb mistakes. Things like on the main channel where it was like I think I accidentally said Pedro Pascal played Miguel O'Hara in Spider-Man instead of saying Oscar Isaac, things like that.
Because you accidentally were thinking about Pedro Pascal and how sexy he was?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And that was not an accident that I was thinking about that.
That makes
That
sense.
was on purpose. But I just feel like I'm not getting enough rest. And even when I do, it's not restful enough. I got stomach flu probably about a month ago. I talked about that a little bit. And it's something where since then, my sleep has just been completely off. I will fall asleep for a couple hours at night, and then I will be up all night until the morning, and then I'll fall asleep again for 5 hours. So I'm not getting consistent, run time of sleep. I'm not getting consistent periods of sleep and things like that. And I just feel like I'm making pretty stupid mistakes because of it. It's not something where I'm sitting around like, oh, woe is me. I've ruined the channels. Everything is going downhill. But it's just something that I think I need to do a better job of paying attention to.
Mm-hmm.
There will be mistakes that happen no matter what. That's just kind of how this works.
Mm-mm.
Nobody's
No, that's not
perfect.
allowed. That's not allowed.
Sorry, I'll be perfect from now on. But I think I need to do a better job trying to focus on things when I'm working on them. And I'm just so overwhelmed by the amount of stuff I have to get done that I can't. I want to go back to uploading every other day on the main channel mostly, except for a couple days in a row, sometimes. The problem with that, and the reason I haven't gone back to more project-based videos, the reason why there's a lot of videos in the middle is because I just don't have enough time. Like I don't have enough time to get things done.
It takes forever to make project videos.
Yeah, and people don't watch them. Like I will make a review of a movie that takes me 8 hours to do, and it will get a third of the views of me just saying Ubisoft sucks and just ranting for 5 minutes.
Which, to be fair, Ubisoft does suck.
A lot of times, yes. So I think that that's something that's been very frustrating is that without making this a woe is me, feel bad for me thing, I think a lot of times I don't know what to focus on. And some of the stuff I want to do, I
keep having to push back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've been working on this video about Metal Gear Solid and Hideo Kojima, but it's probably going to take me a couple of weeks to do all the research and stuff. And in the meantime, I do have to put other stuff up. And it's not something as simple for me where I can just get another job and pay the bills because like I have a disability problem. So I can only do so much, in a given day.
So it's either you get a job and you just do that, or you do this.
Yeah, I would pretty much
one or the other.
I would pretty much have to probably cut all 3 of the side channels and just do Degenerate J sometimes
Yeah.
because I just wouldn't have time.
Yeah.
So it's something that's been really hard to manage the time on, and
Well,
I'm
it's less about time with like if you got another job. It's your hands too.
yeah, my
'Cause
my
you
body doesn't actually work completely right, so I have a very rare genetic disorder that causes a lot of chronic pain and weakness. So I do the best I can with it, and I work hard with it, but I have to take a lot of breaks and things like that. A lot of
Mhm.
places don't want to hire someone who has to deal with that kind of stuff, and even on top of that, most places that do don't care. So they don't care if they work me to death and then I get home and can't do anything. That doesn't matter to them.
Yeah.
So because of that, it's just a weird position to be in where I'm really trying my best. I don't want to take a break from YouTube. And the thing is, honestly, people tell me you should. I can't. I genuinely can't, even if I wanted to. To be completely point blank honest with you, I don't even make minimum wage doing what I do here. I do it because I really like to actually, entertain people. I have a lot of fun with it. But if I just quit doing it for 2 weeks, that's not going to help me either. It's first off going to make my mental state worse, make me feel kind of useless because I don't like not creating things. It actually makes me feel bad. And secondly, it's just going to hurt me financially to a point where I can't recover from it.
And YouTube will stop recommending your videos, and people will stop remembering who you are for some reason because they have short attention spans.
Yeah. So it's just kind of a whole thing. Like, I don't want to make this like a feel bad for me video, but I'm trying to tell you why some of the mistakes have been happening on both channels that have. Um, it's because I'm doing my absolute best to try and get everything done that I can. And I'm doing my absolute best to try and balance everything. I'm trying to give the content that you guys want to see too. But I'm also trying not to make anything I don't want to make, because I think that when I do that, it's pretty obvious. The few times I've done videos that I didn't want to do, I think it's pretty obvious that like the love for it's not there. I just don't care. And I can't really fake caring. Like I'm just not that person. I'm not really I don't want to say I'm not fake like that. I had something on my shirt the whole time. Now that's going to piss me off. I don't want to say I'm not fake like that, but I just want to say it's hard for me to, if you wanted to see top five comic book covers for the Hulk, and I just didn't give a shit about the Hulk, even though I do, he's pretty cool. I couldn't make that video and pretend to care. I'm not a good actor. I'm just not. I'm not going to end up in one of those YouTube Premium or YouTube Red. What are they? Those shows, Jill, that they used to do, like Scare PewDiePie or the Markiplier one or
I think
whatever.
so, yeah.
I'm not an actor. I'm not going to end up in that kind of thing.
I also am very obvious when I'm lying, and I don't really think I am, but to you I am because you know me too well.
Yeah, then
So-
you get mad.
So then it's like you know that I'm not having fun in a video for doing it, and it's something we don't like, and it
Yeah.
just makes you upset the entire time.
Well, and the thing is, I understand some people would say like, well, that's part of working is you should do something you don't like. You should have to, I don't like having to go and clean toilets every day. And it's like, yeah, but you're not creating something that other people have to consume when you do that. When you are making something, like, have you ever watched a movie and you can tell that certain people on it just didn't give a shit? Or played a game and you can tell that they quit trying at the end?
Mhm.
That's kind of what it is. It's like nobody wants to consume that product. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to watch a video where someone doesn't give a shit what they're talking about, unless it's done as parody to be funny. Which good example of that's Conan O'Brien. I don't know if he still does these, but he used to do gamer segments where he would play video games with people. Conan does not give a shit about any of these games. But it's really funny that he doesn't care because he's making fun of them, and it's like a parody thing, and he's making jokes out of it. When you can do that kind of thing, I think it's fun, and I've done that kind of thing before. But a lot of times when I do a video I don't care about, it's just like deadpan or like me trying to fake caring about it, and just it's boring. It's not fun. I want to be able to balance, these things of like, well, what do I want to do today, but also what do people want to see, and where's the meeting point on that? Not I go this way and ignore what I want, or I go this way and ignore what my audience wants, but where's the crossover? Like what can I make that both groups are going to be happy with, and also how can I introduce people to new things? And something that's so hard with YouTube is you can't do that anymore. You can't introduce people to new things. You just can't. So, for example. Here's an example, just really quick. One of my favorite franchises, and I've been talking about it a little bit. There's a few of them here that I want to mention in this video. So, I have a couple. I'm reaching. So, here's a couple of examples of this. Things that you probably would never expect me to talk about. Metal Gear Solid. I really want to start talking about these games. But every time that I have, the algorithm recommends it to no one. You know why? Because this is a Japanese stealth basically stealth game franchise. They don't see any connection with superheroes. So when I talk about Spider-Man, they don't see any
This
connection
is
with
a
that.
superhero.
Thank you.
You
Thank you for
could
showing
do
us
a
that.
video of a Barbie doll.
Jill, get that out of here.
Okay.
You're ruining my video, Jill. It's probably going to go on the main channel, by the way. I feel like that's where people will see it.
I feel like that's a good idea.
But nobody would watch this because, yeah, but I still want to make it. I'm still working on stuff for it. But if I made too many videos about this, then it tanks my channel performance all around it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I'm just being transparent. That's how it works. If I was to say make 3 Metal Gear Solid videos one week because I was just really feeling it,
and they all did badly,
you would not see my channel for a month.
Yeah.
That's just how it works. It's just fuck you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you care. It doesn't matter if I care. That's how the system works.
Because if your last video didn't do well, the next subsequent videos they don't push to people because they think, nobody cares about this.
Exactly. And so Mega Man Battle Network Collection. This came out recently. This is some of the childhood games I grew up with. I wanted to make a video talking about these, maybe even review these games. Why haven't I? Because I don't have time, because I know that people won't watch it because YouTube won't show them it exists. That's just how it works. Star Ocean. I talked about this on Twitter. This is one of my favorite franchises ever. JRPG franchise. Amazing. I love it. It's like Final Fantasy in outer space is how I always describe it to people. But you know what? They don't even show my Final Fantasy videos the few times I've made those. They just don't.
Though Final Fantasy VII is probably your favorite game of all time.
One of them, yeah. Up there with Fallout New Vegas. They don't show them. Mm-hmm. And so I know that this is becoming a little bit of me complaining, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm really trying to balance all of these things because, like, these are still things I want to make. There's still things I want to talk about. And I want to be a variety channel. But there is a lot of people who don't want me to be, and an entire platform I upload to that doesn't want me to be. You know, and that's kind of what's frustrating for me about the whole thing is you can only do so much, you know, and you can only push it so far. And if I were to just take a break, that's worse. That just makes things worse. It doesn't actually help. The only people who can take breaks on this platform and do very well are people who do one niche thing, who have a very built-in audience, like very built-in, or people who are above 500,000 subscribers. I genuinely believe that. Well, yeah, I mean, people like that, or Markiplier, or any of these guys up at the top. I mean, like if Jacksepticeye wanted to not upload for 6 months, he could come back and he'd have an audience.
Yeah.
If I wanted to not upload for 6 months and I came back, I would not have an audience. Yeah. Maybe I'd have 1,000 of you, and I appreciate those people 100%. I 100% appreciate those people. But at the end of the day, I also have to make a living. I have to pay the bills. I have to have time for my family. You know what I mean? I have to take care of my friends and people around me and myself and my health. And all of those pressures together have not been burning me out, because I don't want to say I have creator burnout, even though that is a real thing. I don't think I have that. I think I just have been so weighed down and frustrated really the past 2 years by this off and on. It's why I talk about it sometimes, and why even though like certain people say like, hey, you're just bitching about it, I don't want to hear about your problems, blah, blah, blah. Cool, then leave. Because it's my channel and I'm free to talk about what I want on here. And I totally get some people won't care about that stuff, and that's fine. I respect that. But what I'm trying to do is cultivate an audience and find people who do care about that stuff, who, when I mention, hey, this is a really cool game, I think you should check out these Star Ocean games, I think this is cool. People who won't just be like, nah, man, F you, you're not talking about Spider-Man, I'm not even going to check this out, like, no way. People will be like, oh, I wonder what that is, that could be interesting. You know, that kind of thing. That's the kind of group I'm trying to cultivate. That's the kind of group I'm trying to find. And it has been made near impossible to do so on this website. It's really a fool's errand at this point, but it's something that matters to me, because I don't want to make this content if I can't find those people. That's just not something I want to do. And it's not something I find interesting. I find it boring.
If all else fails, you could always just do like lingerie try-on videos on your channel.
We might have just hit the jackpot, boys. We might have just hit the jackpot. No, I don't know. Jill, do you have anything to add to all this? Like, I just think just being weighed down by this stuff and being tired has led to a lot of mistakes from me, and a lot of, I don't play games for fun anymore. I just don't do it.
It's led to a lot of depression.
I don't have time. Yeah. I feel like I don't get to spend enough time with my family. And I feel like I just can't make everyone happy, but I always try to. And I think that might be one of my biggest problems, is I'm always trying to make everyone happy. I'm trying to make the people who comment and say things like, you're a piece of shit, I just want to watch Arkham, I try and make them happy, and I shouldn't. I shouldn't want to. The people who say, I like your Assassin's Creed videos, but why do you talk about Spider-Man? He's a cuck. I shouldn't try and make those people happy. Like I can't make you be interested in fun things. I can't make you.
We want the happy people here, but it's hard to find them. And, the one time you did take a break, when you were sick or when we played Fallout 76 for a couple of days for fun, you went really far behind and it really upset you a lot.
Yeah, and I don't really know what to do about that because it's something we're creating and doing this stuff really matters to me. It's something I really care about putting out in the world. So I'm not saying I'm taking a break. I'm not saying I'm quitting. I'm not saying I hate my audience or that I'm not grateful or any crap like that some people try and spin things like this as. I'm just trying to say that I need to do a better job figuring out how to manage the pressures of these things and figuring out how to make what makes me happy and finding people who are willing to do that. And something I've been trying to do since Jill got a part-time job is use some of that money not only to pay off things like my student debts and things like that, but also to promote some of our videos to new audiences that maybe wouldn't see them otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I've really been trying to do. It's not easy to do, and it costs money and time as well, but it's important to me because I want to find these people. What I want to eventually do on this channel is have an audience like someone like Jacksepticeye has, or someone like PewDiePie, or
Where they like
someone
you.
and I don't want to be a narcissist about it. Just when I want to talk about something and share it, that they might be open to listening to it.
Yeah,
Or
because
that,
they like you and not just the topic you're talking about. Yeah.
but I feel like YouTube doesn't want you to find that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
What they want to do, in my opinion, is they want content machines. They want you to milk. If you get big off Spider-Man, they want you to push Spider-Man until you're sick of it and you quit. And there's a backlog of Spider-Man videos they can recommend to people so they get a bunch of ad revenue, and then they will shoot you over to someone else's channel. That's not what I want out of my life. I find that boring.
Mm-hmm.
I find
and
it
sad.
uninspired, and I find it to the point where I might as well just go do a dead-end boring cubicle job at that point.
I would like to say, though, hopefully Sherlock Holmes Part 7 should be going up on the Let's Play channel later today, which is really exciting because that's one of my favorite Let's Plays that we've ever done, because I'm a huge fan of detective games.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that people actually try that out because I think it's really cool and interesting. It's about Jack the Ripper, which I think is super fun.
Is it going to finish for today? I thought it might have to be tomorrow.
I think it's going to finish for today. It's already 100% on the export.
Then
so.
it might. Then it might. I did not
might.
know. Anyway, I know that this was a bit rambly. Jill, did you have anything you wanted to add at the end? Like, I really want to find that group, but I know that that's hard, and I don't want someone to feel like they have to be interested in everything. Like, I understand if you don't like Funko Pops, and I made a video about Funko Pops, you might be like, hey, I like Jay, but Funko Pops are really boring. Fine, but I feel like it's that way with everything now, where, like, I genuinely feel like I can't talk about certain things.
I like when you ask me, do I have anything to add, and then you go on a rant.
I'm sorry. I'm tired and I'm kind of sad and I'm a little, I don't know.
I did want to say, I have been having a hard time with feeling that way too. Like my entire life, I've always felt like I never really fit in and I didn't really have any group or anything like that. And then when we started doing YouTube, I thought that maybe I'd finally have that. And it kind of just feels like nobody cares about the stuff I make either. So it's really hard for me as well because I want people to like me and I want people to like you. And I want people to, watch your channel and be like, hey, I really like this guy. Also, his wife does stuff. And I think his wife is pretty cool too.
And I just feel like a lot of that connection to your audience is gone.
Yeah.
I think everything is so distant and so produced and fake and so late night show, where it's like promoting all the fake stuff, that I don't really know how to build those kinds of communities anymore.
Yeah.
It's something I'm trying to do, but I don't know. It's
not 2012 anymore.
No. And it's funny because everybody always talks about how much better they thought the platforms were back then.
But then they support all these other things that don't.
The corporatization of it.
Yeah. I just think it's ridiculous. I mean, we all remember what happened, too, with that one big corporation that got more subscribers than PewDiePie, like, super quickly. I mean, that just goes to show that the platform's not for small YouTubers anymore. It's for corporations.
Right. The big corporations, big businesses, things like that, they are pushed and supported. And at the end of the day, the other stuff isn't. And it's not convenient to support. Like, it's not something where you can support a small channel. I couldn't go support someone I talk about sometimes is Irigen. Like he's a buddy of mine. He has a channel on here. He doesn't have that many subscribers because they don't push his stuff. That's not an insult to him. It's just they don't push it, and it sucks. And then you can look at people like me. I have 100 and almost 18,000, probably average 3,000 views a video because they
Yeah.
don't show it. And it's not made convenient to support individual creators anymore. It's like you have to go and check their page every day. Like you're checking in on Twitter or Facebook.
Something I noticed too is when you post a video, if I go to your page and I click refresh a bunch, your video that's newest doesn't show up, but if I go to my subscriptions box, it shows up in there.
And sometimes it doesn't even show up in subscriptions.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying is they've just made it inconvenient to support just average
And
people.
sometimes I get notifications for the reels. I mean, not they're called shorts on this platform. Sorry for the shorts that you post. I get the notifications for them weeks later.
Yeah. So it's a frustrating system. It's led to a lot of problems for me in particular. It's something I'm trying to manage, and I don't ever tell people like get lost, but I do think, if this kind of video, if me being real with you and talking to you and telling you this kind of stuff that bothers me is not for you, then maybe this channel isn't. I don't know. Because I do want to have that kind of audience where I can say stuff like this and not just get shit for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't really think it's worth it. I have enough stress in my life. I don't need it. I don't need to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just tired, and I really need to figure out a way to balance these things and be happy with it, because that matters to me. So that's what I wanted to talk about today.
And find more time for yourself.
Find more time for myself.
Yeah.
To brush my hair. My illustrious hair.
Thank you.
Look at that. Look how I'd look with a comb over.
Oh no, we got like Donald Trump in the room right now.
You love it. You all love it.
Oh no.
So let me know what you think in the comments down below. I appreciate all of you. I hope you have a fantastic day. And as always, everyone, stay shui.